Hey y'all, I'm the faerie-tempest and welcome back to episode 8 of the Black History Challenge. Just in case you're coming in without having seen the setup for this challenge or any of the previous episodes, I'm going to link the playlist for the Black History Challenge in the video as well as in the description, so definitely go check that out and get all caught up on the Coates family. Now, in the last episode, we took the Coates family to church, which was a hot mess, and our children were out of order, and I'm not going to talk about it because y'all already know how I feel about that. It was out of control. Anyway, we now have 3 kids and a toddler in the house. So Elijah, the second to youngest, aged up in the last part, and so did James, our youngest Coates child. And in this episode, we are going to have a big family cookout for Thanksgiving. Benjamin is going to be taking Ben Jr. on a fishing trip for some quality time, just the two of them. And since Ben Jr. has been doing so well at school and really seems to love it, I'm going to be talking a little bit about what school would have been like in the 1880s, late 19th century. I'm also going to mention the Tuskegee Institute and Booker T. Washington and talk about those two things for a little bit. All right, let's go. All right, 6 a.m. on a fall Thursday, which means it is Thanksgiving. In the game, we have our first sim awake is Elijah. So our little Elijah aged up into a child in the last episode, and he is a dog lover. He's also a happy toddler because he had a lot of toddler skills at or over the level 3. So he is the newest child in the Coates household. All right, Benjamin is up next. I'm going to have him use the outhouse and then grab some food and head out to the farm to take care of the crops. Rose has woken up. She also needs to use the outhouse. You'll see a take pregnancy test is an option on the toilet for her. So Rose and Benjamin were able to have a little bit of alone time recently, and we might have another Coates family member on the way. I'm not sure. We will see. All of our kids are awake here, and they are upset because I think James has a stanky diaper, which is understandable. That might not be the best smell in the world, Oh, it looks like River has fleas, so she is an itchy girl today. Is there anything? Oh no. Yeah, so there's nothing that we can do once again to make her feel better. Since it is Thanksgiving, we do have a family cookout happening later today around 3. I changed the tradition of grand meal to barbecue for Thanksgiving as well as Christmas because a lot of these lots are off the grid, right? So we won't be able to use a stove even if we had one to cook a grand meal. So I changed that tradition to reflect that. So that'll be happening later today, and we're just going to try and get everybody in the house sorted in terms of their needs. Benjamin, can you please repair that? And do I hear someone making a mess? Is someone making a mess? No. Okay. We're good. After church, I feel like I need to really crack down on these kids. They are out of control. All right, we are ready to start this backyard barbecue. So let's get in there. We are at Creek Park, which is a little lot that I made so that we could have sort of these family gatherings in a more intimate setting. I'm hoping that because I made this lot a national park, we're not going to get too many random visitors, so that it can just be family and hopefully, oh no. Josephine has died. Rose's mother, the last grandparent, has passed away. So now this is going to be a much sadder event than I originally planned or hoped. But let's keep on going. This is actually Elijah's first family gathering as a kid, so he is going to get to know some of his cousins. So this is Jerry Coates. This is his cousin on his father's side, and Clarence Mathis is also a cousin on his father's side of the family. Adeline is probably the cousin that Alma has been getting the closest to out of all of her club members and cousins, so I'm glad that she is starting to get close with one of them, because she is a social butterfly, so she does want to make a BFF. We got a freight train in the background. So many little details, actually, of this world that I have never seen before. This is so cool. Ben Jr., as usual, is standing a little bit apart from the crowd, and he's doing his own thing, really. This is sort of his go-to. He really doesn't engage that much with the other family members like his sister does. So Alma came over here because she saw David Fraser, the Reverend's son, sitting alone, and I think she kind of likes him, to be honest. So she has been trying to spend a little bit more time with him to get to know him and see if she can be his friend. I think because he's cheerful, and that is a similar personality trait to her brother, I think she feels a little bit of a kinship with him, and it's really cute that she has sort of taken a liking to him. So now she's telling him one of her stories. She's like, no, really, like, there was a banana peel on the ground, and it, like, oh my god. As usual, during another event / holiday, Rose has realized that she is expecting. And Benjamin is like, oh my god, honey, this is amazing, but we are really going to have to work a lot harder on the farm. Benjamin, he's been trying to do a little bit of his roadside markets, but that has definitely fallen by the wayside, and I think he is feeling a little bit of the stress of having so many children in such a small space, and having this being sort of trapped in the sharecropping system. I think that it gets to him from time to time, although, as usual, he really does try to be breezy and light and sort of a rock for the family that can lift everyone up. So Ben Jr., like I mentioned, he has been really into school, and his teacher noticed this and sent him home with a journal. So his teacher is Adeline Fraser, and she just noticed how much he loves writing and reading, and so she is encouraging him to keep a journal and sort of write out his thoughts. So maybe Ben Jr. will be a writer one day, who knows. We are back home, and I think everyone just needs to get into bed. Rose, I'm going to have you put James to bed. Everybody is up, and the kids are going to be heading out to school. And whoa, Benjamin really needs to take a bath and eat. I think I actually got rid of, so I put the grill in their inventory because every time I would go out to change somebody's outfit or fix a house or something, I would come back in, and without fail they would be grilling even if they weren't hungry, and it made absolutely no sense. So anyway, let's have Rose make a breakfast scramble. Benjamin, if you could just hold on for like a second until your kids are out of the room to take a bath so we don't mortify anyone, that would be excellent. Oh my god. Okay, hang on. We have a situation. If you could please water those right now. Right now. And Rose, can you help spray for bugs, please? This is an all hands on deck situation. And then harvest the corn just to see what is left. Okay, so they ate that, they ate that, they ate that. And they didn't get that one. They did not get that one, but they did get that one. Great. Benjamin's brother-in-law Joseph has come to visit, and we are going to invite him in our smelly glory because the Coates family does not turn away family. I actually wonder what to make of this because Joseph came over and he is feeling flirty. And he came over here. So you know what? I think what we're going to do is send him home to his wife. Benjamin's like, you know what? Take that energy home to your wife. I think she might appreciate it. Rose was low on fun, so I decided to have her sing a couple of jazz songs. And I love the sound of the singing voice. It's so wonderful. This is giving me so much comfort right now. I can't even explain it. Saturday morning in the game, and the family is having some fruit salad for breakfast. I'm thinking today, if the weather holds out, we are going to have Benjamin take Ben Jr. on his first fishing trip. So Ben Jr. is about 10 years old. And so he's going to take Ben Jr. on his first fishing trip, spend a little bit of quality time with his firstborn. Right, we are here at Willow Creek Market, and we are in a fishing trip event. This is thanks to a mod by Kiara Sims. I mentioned her previously because they created the pastor career, church service event, all of that good stuff. So while we're here, I am going to actually sell our crops because it is the end of the fall season and we have harvested all of our major crops for the season. So I'm going to have Benjamin sell everything in here, or just about everything in here. We've got sage and basil and carrots, sweet corn, green beans, regular corn, mushrooms, onions, and we've got lots of eggs from the chicken coop. That all comes out to 4,678 simoleons. However, as a sharecropper, Benjamin has to give 2/3 of his harvest to the landowner. In our case, this is Mr. Smith, who also owns Willow Creek Market. So after deducting 2/3 of the harvest to give to Mr. Smith, we're left with 1,559 simoleons. And so adding that to our current house, or our previous house total, which was 479, brings us down to 2,038. This is actually really good. This is one of the best harvests that Benjamin has had in a while, but definitely you can see how the system of sharecropping is a huge detriment to the farmer, to the tenant farmer especially, because they just were stuck in this cycle of debt and never really paying off their loan. Let's see if we can look for a good fishing spot. Let's see, we've got this one over here. Since it is fairly cold out, I'm not sure that we're gonna see any like fish jumping out of the water today. So he is going to scope out the water and see if it's a good spot for them to fish today. All right, Benjamin sees unrecognizable shapes moving beneath the surface of the water. This looks like an excellent spot for fishermen of Benjamin's caliber to try their luck with some difficult catches. So let's get into it. Let's fish together with our son. Oh, and Ben Jr. has caught something. He has caught his very first fish. Looks like that was a goldfish. Yeah, he caught a 0.22 kilogram goldfish worth $7. Great job. So Benjamin is actually going to mentor Ben Jr. in fishing. So we've got a little bit of one-on-one time happening with the Coates boys today. You know, Ben Jr. has been doing so well at school, and I think this will be one of the first times for Benjamin to really hear all the things that Ben Jr. is excited about, you know. Why don't you ask him for advice, because you are feeling a little bit down in the dumps today. And we could brag about our grades. I think Ben Jr. is really proud of how well that he does in school, and is proud about the fact that he can sort of master arithmetic and all that kind of stuff. Benjamin did not like the fact that he bragged about his grades. I think he would take this opportunity to try and teach Ben Jr. to be a little more humble. Like it's okay to take pride in your work, but you don't have to rub it in people's faces, son. I think we're gonna try and cheer him up so that he feels a little bit good, so he feels a little better about everything going on. And why don't we ask him about his day and also ask him about school. So what I was going to say before is around this time in the 19th century, the curriculum was very standard in the sort of common schools is what a lot of public schools were called. So schools that were funded by the state, they were often at this time still like one-room schoolhouses, and they would be, students of all ages in the same classroom. So children of Ben Jr. and Alma's age, but all the way up to people of Benjamin's age, because there were a lot of freedmen and women that were learning how to read for the very first time. I've been searching for, let's praise him. Praise Ben Jr. for his good grades. I think we should also I think Benjamin would also express his admiration of Ben Jr. for his ability to master, arithmetic. They would be learning a little bit of geography and history. I think that Benjamin is so excited about the fact that his son loves writing and loves learning, and I think he would want to encourage Ben Jr. to continue with that and really take that as far as he can. At the Thanksgiving cookout, he heard from a relative that this huge school, or a little school actually at the time, would have just opened for Black Americans. So the Tuskegee Institute was founded in 1881 with a Black man as the principal, Booker T. Washington, and it was initially just a place for Black people to learn how to become teachers, and eventually it became a huge vocational institute, so a place where women could learn how to become seamstresses or laundresses, and men could learn agriculture and industrial labor skills. And I think Benjamin sees his son sort of like with this love of learning and this knack for learning, and I think maybe he now has sort of a dream for his son to become the first one in their family that will, not only stay in school, but reach all the way to the top and maybe go to the Tuskegee Institute and, just really go for it. Like, you can see how excited he is talking to Ben Jr. about all this stuff. I think he is just absolutely amazed at his son's abilities. Yeah. So Benjamin has an adoring sentiment towards Ben Jr. They're growing closer from this quality time together, and Ben Jr., he really looks up to his father, and he is so excited, I think, as well, that his father is equally excited about his love of learning. I mean, just education was like a big thing in my family, me personally, and I absolutely think that it's something that our family members in this legacy are going to hold on to and push for because, you know, like Booker T. Washington believed that was the way to move Black Americans forward. It was to give them life skills and knowledge so that they could run their own businesses, be independent financially, and sort of get out of this system of debt. And I think Benjamin sees the value in that and sees the value of giving Ben Jr. a different life than they have, you know, and he won't have to hand over his hard work to someone else. He can think for his own and write for his own. Ben Jr. can think for his own and write for his own. And I am so happy that they took this time together. I think that this is going to be the start of something really good for Ben Jr. And I think I might leave this part here. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for even more Black History Challenge videos coming your way. I will see y'all in the next one. Thanks. Bye.